Maro, a disappointing afternoon here at the Allianz. Tell us where it went wrong for your team today.
I guess the first half we turned the ball over too much. When we did get in their half, we weren't clinical. But ultimately, I think just as players, we just have to own it. It wasn't the result or performance that we wanted, so as players, we have to take responsibility and make sure we're better.
It was a similar feeling in that first quarter to last weekend, where previously England have got off to a good start, but again today, you just didn't quite get that area right. Can you put your finger on why, for 2 weeks now, that hasn't quite happened for you?
Ultimately, we weren't accurate. We got again into good positions, and when we were there, we didn't either come away with points or we didn't score. So look, as we know, is not good enough, and we'll be working harder to get it right.
And you have 2 weeks to fix it now into the next Italy game. What are kind of the priorities that you might look at first and foremost that you need to get right for the next fixture?
Well, we need to look after the ball. We need need to make sure our possessions are accurate, because ultimately we turned the ball over too much in that first half.
Well, Maro, commiserations for today, but congratulations on the 100 caps.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Ellis, how do you go about reflecting on that? I know it's so soon after the final whistle, but that's a pumping, isn't it?
Yeah, cheers. To put it lightly, probably. Yeah, I don't know. What do you do? 2 weeks in a row, conceded 17 points in the first 15 minutes. It's a tough mountain to climb after you start like that. So there's no magic formula. I just think everyone should have to have a look at themselves, myself included. Got to make the most of opportunities. Turn over too much ball.
Is it possible to analyse at this point the whys, the explanation for it? We all saw it.
No, I think if you ask 15 people, we'll give 15 different answers. No one knows what the answer is right now. Otherwise, we would have sorted it out. It's got to be significantly better than that in the first quarter of the game. It's happened 2 weeks in a row, so tough to digest, really. But we'll keep grafting away.
Is that it? The starts? If you get off to the bad
Feels
start,
that way,
it begins to unravel.
Feels that way. Obviously opened up a bit of scar tissue from last week, didn't it? I literally, looked up 15 minutes, 17 minutes, and it was 17-0 again, or 15-0. So we got to be significantly better at firstly managing that period, and just stop turning the ball over.
And if you park perhaps the minutiae of what happened today.
Say that again?
If you park the detail of what happened today and you look at this in the whole, you look at the success and the clarity with which you were playing in November to how you're playing now, is there anything that you can put your finger on that go, well, that changed, so that's why this is happening?
No. Otherwise I would have told you last week. I would have said it in the meetings last week, and it wouldn't have happened today.
It's a remarkable turnaround, though, isn't it?
What's
the last
that?
couple of weeks from how you were going in November. It was so slick. It all seemed to be well-oiled.
Yeah, I mean, you say that. If we started games the way we did today and last week in November, it probably would have had the same result. So it's close. It's brutal, professional sport, because if you get 5% wrong, it can spiral. So I don't think anyone in that change room is going to shy away from what the reality is. We were way off it this week and last. Probably believed the hype a little bit too much from the first week, didn't we? Can't let the noise in now. Batten down the hatches and double down on us. Stay tight as a team. Yeah, we'll have a look at ourselves, I promise you. I'm obviously sorry to the fans as well. You've been absolutely outstanding. We've let you down, we've let each other down, we've let everyone down in our corner. So massive apologies for that, but I promise you we'll keep grafting away.
I don't want to dig too deep
Carry
into
on.
your disappointment.
No, it's
just
fine.
one last one, just as regards the championship as a whole, because that's now gone.
Is that? Yeah.
So no team has lost twice and managed to win the title. So can you give us a reflection on how that makes you feel?
Obviously gutted, yeah. You want to win. It's what you want your career to do. I've played 78 times for England, and I think I've only ever won one Six Nations title. So, it's tough. But that's what professional sport is. She's a nasty mistress at times. So, as I said, we'll long hard look at ourselves. We had to look at ourselves last week as well. To be honest, it's one of them. You get it wrong in and this is what happens. It rips you apart. So I promise you that we're gonna go away and work as hard as we can to get things right. But at the moment, I think we just digest it, and obviously got a fallow week now, so it's a good time to go away and try and rectify things.
Thanks for your time, Alex.
Cheers, mate.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, Steve, for Ireland, one of their best days here at the Allianz, and for you, conversely, probably one of the most difficult as a coach. What have you said in the initial debrief to the players?
Yeah, well, ultimately this team's been very, very good in games that and you look over this last year, last 18 months of games that are tight, and then that second half been super, super strong. Unfortunately, the last 2 weeks is we let the opposition get that start, and we've given ourselves too much to a mountain to climb that we haven't been able to. Get the score and enough scores. At the same point in time, it's probably influenced a little bit how we played, which has led to a few more turnovers and then gifted opportunities for the opposition to score. That's probably the template of the last 2 games. So we'll have a close look at that and ensure that first half is a better performance that sets us up for finishing the job in the second half.
Why do you think the start has been difficult for 2 weeks now? You talk about lineouts lost, you talk about turnovers in the 22, and just general inaccuracies. It's not a trend yet, but for 2 weeks in a row, it has made the game very, very difficult for you.
Yeah, the first couple of lineouts gave them field position, which then gave them an opportunity to get some points, and clearly we had a number of times to their goal line where we actually then finished with turnovers against us and not scores. And credit Ireland for taking their chances so very, very well. Now, so there's a couple of things there that we're looking at real closely to ensure that come 2 weeks' time when we're playing against Italy in Rome is that we convert those chances.
When I say discipline, people will think about penalties. You were into double figures for penalty count, but also double figures for unforced errors as well. Is that something that you maybe need to look at going forwards into how you put momentum back in your favour?
Yeah, well, I think the turnover count was too high, and as discussed, when the scoreboard pressure comes on, sometimes you make decisions and play in a slightly different manner, which can lead to more turnovers, as we saw in that second half. We'll look at all those things and we'll debrief that thoroughly.
Andy Farrell used the word intent for his team when they lost against France, and it seemed they certainly had it, and perhaps England were lacking. Did you see that as an issue through the game as well?
Well, I think I see the errors and the mistakes in that first half, which ultimately gifted Ireland scoring chances. You know, they played really well. I thought their kicking game was very, very strong, and they took their chances really well. Conversely, we didn't, and ultimately that made the difference on the scoreboard in that first half.
12 wins in a row, now the 2 losses. You've got time into the Italy game, so how do you go about rebuilding perhaps confidence, energy in the squad so that you can go to Rome and pick up a result?
2 weeks ago, after 12 wins on the bounce, people were talking about us being best team in the world, and now they'll be saying all kinds of other things, and neither are true. We're always a team that is on a journey of development that's improving. It's got a lot of growth in it. That's what I believe this team has got a lot of growth in it. You look at the 2 teams today, and I think that England team is going to be a lot better in 2 weeks' time.
First half, when things weren't going your well, you pulled the trigger early, you brought on Jamie George, you brought on Marcus Smith. What were you seeing in those moments that made you make those decisions?
Yeah, well, ultimately, I saw Jamie George, the leadership he brings, the experience he brings, and we'd had 2 early errors at the line out. He certainly helps in that regard as well. And I think Luke Cowandick is a fabulous player. I thought that just that change where we were at that time, we needed that change. And then late in that first half, with the points down on the scoreboard, Marcus Smith's a player who creates opportunities and takes opportunities. So I felt that point in time we needed to make a change. And yeah, again, I'd say Freddie Stewart, I rate Freddie Stewart tremendously. It's not changing players in the first half is not something I do often, but I think that's a circumstance that we've not often found ourselves in.
And lastly, for the coaches, what will you guys look at when you go away to make improvements on coming into that next game? Where can you guys be better?
Yeah, well, we'll look very clearly at what we had planned going into the game, where we execute, where we did not execute, and then how we coached that in the week, and then reflect on that, so ensure we are better in our roles come the squad coming back together later in the week.
Well, thanks, Steve. We'll see you in Rome.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
This is Ollie Eakin with Steve Borthwick for the BBC. Steve, what was the single biggest factor as far as you're concerned today in the defeat?
Yeah, and ultimately, a number of things didn't go the way we wanted them to, quite clearly, and the number of turnovers obviously escalated throughout the game, which gave Ireland more opportunities and denied us scoring opportunities. If you look at this team over the last period of time, it's been very, very strong at games that are tight, games that are very close, and then been excellent in that second half. The last 2 weeks ultimately is that we've let the opposition get many scores up, and we've been unable. It's been a mountain to climb. Now, we found ourselves in that situation before. We were 12-0 down against New Zealand out there, but this, we've given the opposition too many scores and given ourselves too much to do.
So 2 weeks running, that's happened. I mean, how concerned are you that that's now a trend?
Yeah, well, I think 2 weeks ago people were saying Toronto's been challenging with the best team in the world. South Africa being number one, and us nipping on the heels. That's what people were saying to us, and said we've got a lot of work to do. And now 2 weeks later, people are saying all kinds of other things about the team. No, that's not true either. What we are is a team that has got a lot of growth in it, that's made errors the last 2 weeks against two good teams who've executed their plans really, really well. So we'll go away and work very, very hard to ensure we are better in a couple of weeks' time in Rome.
I think a lot of fans, Steve, will look at the way you played in November, look at the way everything seemed to be piecing together really nicely, the jigsaw puzzle that you've taken a long time to build, and then wonder what's happened over the last fortnight. Is there anything in particular that strikes you as being critical to that?
Yeah, and as with everything, there's never ever, I don't think, one magic ingredient or one isolated error that you've got to fix. It's always a combination. The context is key to it. But I think ultimately, if you look at that first 20, what was the key difference? We had a number of scoring chances, a number of times on their try line, and didn't score a point. And they took their chances really efficiently and really well. And credit to Ireland for the way they played.
And in terms of the championship as a whole, the title challenge is now over at this point. How disappointing is it from your perspective, and indeed how big a challenge is it for you as head coach to pick this lot up? Good bunch of players, really good players who've been underperforming the last fortnight and need to finish strong somehow.
Yeah, absolutely. I think right now the players recover from this match and 3 test matches in a row, and we'll recommence our training later in the week, and we'll work exceptionally hard to ensure that those errors, those turnovers, those try-scoring chances we missed and gave other opportunities to the opposition, we'll make sure that's changed, because then to make sure we get the performance we want against Italy in Rome.
Brilliant. Thanks for your time, Steve.
Thank you.
Thank you.